Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book Risk, a creation by Dan Gardner. Our society instills a fear of the unknown in us. Risk, 2008, explores the psychological and social factors behind this fear in contemporary times, revealing that the world may not be as frightening as we are led to believe. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that Dan Gardner, a former senior policy advisor and writer at the Ottawa Citizen, has received several accolades for his writing, notably the Amnesty International Media Award. With 9 key ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book on StoryPlanet.net. To start, the text emphasizes the idea of overcoming fears and standing up to those who attempt to take advantage of them. It highlights the importance of personal growth and empowerment by facing and conquering fears. Psychologists and neuroscientists have uncovered insights about the human brain and its processes regarding emotions and decision-making. Understanding fear in the context of our advanced knowledge of the brain is crucial in today's world. Despite modern fears, it is highlighted that the brain struggles to accurately assess fear. Recognizing this can lead to feelings of gratitude and relief as we live in relatively safer times. The book explores topics like mortality rates in terrorist attacks, dolphin intelligence, and pharmaceutical marketing tactics. Key idea number 1. The text highlights that modern society is filled with misconceptions and unfounded fears. The world is perceived to be increasingly dangerous due to a heightened sensitivity to risks in what is referred to as a risk society. This term, coined by Ulrich Beck, indicates societies highly aware of potential dangers such as terrorism and health threats like cancer. The media often exaggerates these risks, leading to widespread fear and misunderstanding among the public. For example, cancer is most common among those over 80, while the likelihood of dying in a terrorist attack is statistically slim compared to flu-related deaths. Key idea number 2. Misconceptions about risk are influenced by how our brains are wired. Human brains have not evolved much despite drastic changes in the environment. Fear of snakes is hardwired due to its survival benefit in the past. Our brains have a law of similarity concept, leading to certain behaviors, such as avoiding foods resembling feces, even if they are not. Key idea number 3. Our brain has 2 cognitive systems that process risk differently. Daniel Kahneman's research highlights 2 brain systems: System 1, intuitive, and System 2, conscious. System 1 operates quickly and instinctively, but is prone to inaccuracies, while System 2 functions deliberately and logically, but is slower. System 1 relies on simple rules like the law of similarity, which can lead to errors in reasoning. System 2 requires conscious thought and education to make accurate decisions. Key idea number 4. The gut is influenced by 2 rules that can lead to irrational decisions. System 1. Gut reactions lead to rash decisions using heuristics like the rule of typical things, seen in Kahneman's Linda problem. Our gut often chooses typical scenarios, disregarding logical probabilities. The example rule, an availability heuristic, makes us rely on recent examples, like buying earthquake insurance after an earthquake, even though it's illogical. Key idea number 5. Brains tend to comprehend anecdotal evidence more easily than statistical data. Anecdotes can strongly influence beliefs. In 1994, media stories linked silicone breast implants to diseases, resulting in a class action lawsuit against Dow Corning. Despite no scientific evidence, the company settled for $425 billion, leading to bankruptcy. While some studies show no causal link, anecdotes had a significant impact. Our difficulty understanding numbers and probability makes us susceptible to anecdotal evidence over facts. Key idea. Number 6. Companies and governments have the ability to use fear to influence people. Pharmaceutical companies and politicians exploit our vulnerability to fear and misinformation. The pharmaceutical industry engages in disease mongering, manipulating people to believe they are sick and need medication. Politicians use emotional appeals, particularly fear, to sway public opinion. The text provides examples of how these tactics were employed, such as a pharmaceutical company's deceptive marketing of Lotrinex for irritable bowel syndrome and the US government's use of fear tactics to garner support for the Iraq War based on false information about weapons of mass destruction. Key idea number 7. Faulty risk perception impacts crime comprehension. The text highlights how the media often sensationalizes rare crimes like child abduction, leading to unnecessary fear among the public. It discusses how fear-inducing stories grab attention, while positive news often goes unreported. It emphasizes the importance of not fixating on rare crimes and provides statistics to show that the fear of certain crimes is exaggerated compared to their actual prevalence. Key idea number 8. Terrorism is less of a threat than commonly perceived. Since 9/11, there has been increased fear of terrorism despite a decrease in terror attacks. A poll in 2002 showed declining fear levels with time. Although worry about terrorism decreased, concern for family safety showed an increase. The likelihood of dying from a terrorist attack is lower than many other more common risks, like car accidents. In comparison, lack of health insurance causes more unnecessary deaths annually than terrorism, showing that while terrorism is horrific, its impact on daily life is minimal. Key idea number 9. Fear-mongering obscures the fact that we currently reside in one of the most prosperous periods in human history. Humanity is experiencing its best days with longer life expectancy globally. Factors like access to healthcare contribute to longer lives. Studies project decreasing child mortality and increasing life expectancy by 2030 across the world. Economist Robert Fogel predicts more people living past 100. Improvements in life conditions are seen in developing countries with decreasing malnutrition rates. United Nations Human Development Index shows overall prosperity, with developing nations like Niger, Chad, and Mali showing significant improvement. Despite a risk misinterpretation, it is essential to acknowledge the current healthy and wealthy era in human history. In conclusion, perceiving threats inaccurately due to brain programming. Anecdotes more impactful than statistics for many. Despite this, current era is prosperous. Proposed advice: rely on scientific evidence over fear-inducing narratives. Suggests reading Super Forecasting for accurate prediction strategies. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.